and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And we're the team from Yarnia. This is a podcast all about knitting and crochet and fiber and yarn and...
Sometimes embroidery, sometimes spinning, sometimes weaving.
Yes.
And maybe today even a teeny bit of sewing.
Ooh. Exciting.
It's a first, I think.
Thank you for joining us. This is podcast number, I don't know.
59.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously?
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
I didn't double check, but
We've
I
been
feel
doing
like
this a while.
we have been doing this a while.
That's pretty good.
Pretty sure.
Look at us.
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
know.
I have a note to pick the winner from episode 57, and we forgot to do a giveaway last episode.
That's right.
Therefore, with the
Because we were all
the
like
aspects
remote.
of math.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's probably why we don't remember, because we didn't.
Yeah.
We weren't together last time. It was.
Last time we were all like,
Scattered.
I was on vacation in Cape Cod. We were all scattered around.
Yeah.
I was doing college drop off.
I was here.
Yes.
Amanda was
Amanda
here.
was here.
Yep.
So the last episode we did not have a giveaway. This episode, will we have a giveaway?
We will.
We will have a giveaway, so
Yes.
stay tuned.
Yes.
And yeah, so if you hear any noises in the background, it's because school has not yet started here, and my 7-year-old is playing video games on his iPad with headphones in the office.
And chatting with friends while he plays, right?
And chatting with friends while he plays, while he FaceTimes, which is both adorable and also I'm like, who are you talking to? And he's like, oh, William's on the phone with me. I was like, okay.
Is this friend playing a game too, or is
Yes,
it just...
I think they might actually be playing the same game.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes I can hear the conversation turns into, William, I want to play Minecraft. Or he's like, Ollie, I want to play Minecraft. I'm like, oh my God, just pick the same game. Please. For the love of my sanity, just pick the same game.
So cute.
But it's cute. They're FaceTiming.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is fun.
their FaceTiming means that you see their ceiling and he sees our ceiling.
Right.
Because it's not like they actually FaceTime.
But they have the voice.
they have the voice.
They have the voice.
They have the
So
voice.
it's like, it could be a phone call.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
totally cute.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. If you
But
hear
he's-
like, woo! And he scored.
He's been pretty quiet
Yeah.
now, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's good.
so it is the day after Labor Day, the day we're taping.
Yes.
Getting
Yeah.
to be weather.
Soon to be fall.
Speaking of weather, and I know we got a lot of questions about how we're doing here at the store.
Yes,
Because
yes.
New York and
Yes.
New Jersey were slammed with bad weather last week.
Yeah.
So slammed.
What,
Insane.
7 inches of rain here?
Yeah, in
And
a matter of hours,
In, like,
too. It was...
What, 4 hours? Something like
Maybe,
that?
maybe even 3.
It was crazy.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Friends of mine actually, just down the street, they were picking the girls up from field hockey practice because I guess the weather came on so quickly. They lost their car.
Oh my goodness.
They were driving on Park Street and near our YMCA, which was massively flooded in like the space of
Absolutely.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
The whole parking lot behind it is below
Yeah.
ground. It was full of water up to... yeah.
Yeah. And the dad driving, my friend, basically saw the water rising and he was like, everybody out of the car first. And I was like, good thing you had the presence of mind. And
Yeah.
he goes, I watched a lot of TV. And I was like,
Yeah.
actually, yes. ER
Yeah.
will have prepared you for this.
Yeah, we had friends who lost their car similarly,
Yeah.
and you think, and this is one thing that I think for viewers who haven't lived in like the Northeast or maybe the Seattle area, maybe have or some parts of California, but not. I think I've never seen anywhere as densely populated as New Jersey.
Yeah.
It is.
When we talk about going to the YMCA, that's 3/4 of a mile away.
I could walk up.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very
it's-
close.
Everything's
And
really compact.
how big is Montclair?
Almost 40,000 now. Oh, miles.
40,000
well,
people. I think
40,000
it's like
like
people.
6 square miles or
6
something.
square miles or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. It's almost
So-
like New York City. It's like a
It
little
is.
mini
It's like
New York
a long
City.
little strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have 40,000 people almost packed into 6 square miles. So, the volume of people, I think, that are affected when something
Yeah.
happens here
Yeah.
is just an order of magnitude
Yeah.
bigger than other areas. So, because I'm from Alabama, where if we had the same area of space impacted, it would have impacted, like maybe a few subdivisions, but here. It's just like the amount of cleanup, the amount of homes impacted.
Yeah.
It's just,
Thousands and thousands of people.
We all were really lucky. You know, I had minimal water in my basement.
Super lucky.
We had minimal water in the basement here, and literally it came up through the floor because the ground is so saturated because we had another huge storm the week before.
Yeah.
But I almost didn't make it home. We had knit night going on here.
Home is what, a quarter mile away?
Well, except I know because I've lived on this, like, right in this area, you know, this exact little quarter mile for 20 years now. So I know, you know, where you do drive and where you don't drive when there's a lot of rain. And there is one thing that's really lovely here is we've got a train station literally at our corner. It's at the end of our street. But there is a road that goes under the train trestle, and that floods.
Drive on that
floods when there is, you know, just a lot of rain.
Like a regular rainstorm.
Yeah, I mean, not quite that bad, but it's been under 5 feet of water, you know, like regularly, several times a year. It just, if there's enough rain, that thing floods. So usually when there's a bad storm, you get a warning on your phone like an hour in advance or something.
Yeah. We
got a warning during, you know, Knit Night was just about wrapping up. It wasn't raining at all at 5. It was sprinkling at 6. At like 7:30 or so, we got this warning that said, you know, flood imminent. And none of us believed it actually because we'd never seen anything like that before. So it's like, we're like, if we leave right now, we'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
Everyone else got out probably in the next 15 minutes. I stupidly closed the register. I did not sweep the floor. I was smart enough, not quite, but I was like, let me just close things down. I should have just left. I drove to the corner, made a right onto Park Street where you live.
Where I live.
Yep.
And it was, and this is, you know, like 3/4 of a mile from where the really bad flooding was, but I was hydroplaning on Park Street.
Wow.
Made the left onto Bellevue. The sidewalks were underwater already at the point.
And this is a street that's on a hill.
It's high.
So it usually
it's not even.
flood.
I've never seen water even accumulating in the street on Bellevue. Never mind, you could not see the sidewalks.
That's
because it usually just runs down the hill.
It was just so much water so fast. Then I went up to Amanda Street, made the left on that.
You basically did a tour of our.
I did.
I'm on North Mountain, which by virtue of the name.
But there was just so much water.
If you flood, you need an ark.
Coming up the mountain from. That was what Stacia said too. I'm like, how did you do? Because she left here at about 6, and, you know, knowing it takes her sometimes about an hour to get home, she's like, yeah, it was pretty hairy that last bit. But she also said, if we flood, we have bigger problems than that, because she's really on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
We're about, like, halfway down a big hill, so the water that we get is runoff. That's what tumbling down the
it's not gonna stay put. It's just gonna keep going. My parents' house is very similar, and they didn't get water in the basement at all, which is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
But they're on a hill, and so like my mom has said, like in the past, like when it's flooded up there, the water comes into the basement, and then she opens the door, and it goes out of the basement, which is why they don't have a finished basement. But it was pretty. I mean, I was still at Cape Cod, so I was texting my friends and basically being like, are you guys okay? And they're like, do you want us to check on your house? And I was like, do it tomorrow. Like, you know, the cats can go to the 3rd floor. They're fine.
Right.
I'm like, if the basement floods, it floods, right? Like, and we, again, knock wood, we lucked out.
Yeah, there was a picture on Facebook of, you know, just a torrent at Mount Hebron and Grove.
Oh my gosh, it looked like roaring rapids.
Yeah,
I showed that to Jonathan.
That was shortly after I got home, and I was, you know, in not too far from there. It was insane.
Like, again, probably maybe 3/4 of a mile, maybe a mile.
And that's the other thing that people don't necessarily realize is, like, my house was totally dry, but like my neighbors, like 6 houses down the hill, flooded.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like
anybody
it's very,
on any of those streets going down toward Grove.
It's crazy.
Because we're sort of in the Appalachians here, like
we are.
At the edge of them. So it comes down the mountain valley, which we talk about right over there.
Yeah, Valley Road. Yeah,
it's the valley, and then it goes up again towards like Belleville and Nutley and things like that. Before it goes down again to New York City.
We're like we're up from sea level, but we're in like a little bowl.
Yeah.
So it depends on where we're at on the hill. I mean, New Jersey's landscape is an interesting one, especially if you're watching from not the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's not like spread apart. It's not like flat plains. You
Yeah.
know, we're foothills.
Yeah,
essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
As my
Actually-
West Coast cousins say, they're like, your mountains aren't real mountains. And
Well,
I'm like, well, compared to the Rockies, no.
It's super similar to where I grew up in Huntsville, which is also foothills of the Appalachians, just
Uh-huh.
the other
The
end.
other side.
end. The
The other
southern
end,
end.
yeah.
You're here,
Yeah.
and then we're here, and then there's Appalachians.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Basically.
to finish my saga of getting home.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah. So I turned on
Those
to
are
Amanda's
home.
house. No, that's okay. And I turned onto North Mountain Amanda Street, and I was going probably 5 miles an hour. At this point, there was no other traffic. And what I was remembering was the remember that there was a crazy blizzard in October. I don't
Yes.
know, like
Oh,
10
yes.
years ago.
Yes.
I remember driving home from Whole Foods on North Mountain and seeing trees fall in the street behind me.
Oh,
and that
no.
was what I was. That was what I was picturing. I'm like, this may not have been the smartest street to go down with all those trees, like right by the street. And I just crept and crept. I couldn't even see where I was. I knew I got to Watchung, to my street,
Yeah.
because there was a light.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I made it probably took me easily 20 minutes to get home.
Oh my goodness.
Which
And meanwhile,
is-
you could
I can walk in
to her
7
house.
minutes
Yes.
in normal conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, in normal
Aw.
conditions. I've done
It was just
but
crazy.
It was
Yeah.
it was terrifying. So if I ever get something on my phone that says flooding imminent again, I am staying put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that we had no idea though. I've never, I was
It's
like,
never happened
it's
like
never
that
happened.
before.
Never ever.
And
Yeah.
I mean, they had warnings and stuff, but like usually when they say like flash flood warnings, we know like, oh, the
Well, it's
underpass
gonna
is
fade
gonna flood.
by the Passaic
and-
River and everything
Yeah,
else.
the
but-
creeks are gonna like the high school is probably gonna
No,
flood.
Right, there's a
Yeah.
creek. There are a
Yeah.
few
There are a few
creeks that go through town, or one that really kind of meanders through the whole town.
but nothing this bad. This was
Never.
crazy,
Yeah.
and like all of
and-
this area.
Oh, and
Yeah.
the high school is just total.
Oh yeah,
When
that's
Lily
basement.
starts high school on Friday.
Was the
So we'll
freshman
see.
building okay?
I don't know. She's a junior.
Oh, that's right. She's a junior. Duh.
yeah.
2 years ago, she was a freshman.
2 years ago.
I know.
She
I-
could have just been in the freshman
I
building.
think some of the damage that they showed was all in the annex. It was in the freshman building because that's closer to where
To the river,
stream
to
is.
that-
To the
Yeah.
river. There were a bunch of crews there cleaning up because they were aiming for school to start on Thursday, and I'll tell
Oh,
you,
Thursday, yeah, that's right.
I-
Everything start Friday.
mine are starting on Thursday. Yay. Yay!
Well, I heard several of the elementary schools were pretty badly damaged too. At Hillside, they showed water in the auditorium, like the whole floor of the auditorium.
I think Hillside has a tendency to flood.
Yeah.
Well, the
yeah.
whole, they have a basement there,
Yeah.
which I can't
Uh-huh.
imagine
Yes, they do. Oh my
turns
goodness.
out very well.
Yeah.
Watchung was, they got some water, but nothing bad, apparently. Which
There,
is where
a
my
tree
kids go.
fell on
Or
Edgemont.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
which is
saw that.
around the
Gym.
corner. But what we saw it actually when they were taking it off, and it looked like it really wasn't damaged. Because
that's good.
well, because there's so much like all the limbs of the
canopy,
tree,
yeah,
that
like all
it kind
that
of
stuff.
sticks out. That happened once to us when we were, I think we were actually at Disney World when Haley was really little. We had our elderly neighbors kind of keeping an eye on the house for us, and we called them once. We were gone for like maybe 6 days altogether. We called them once during the trip. How's everything going? Oh, just fine, just fine. We pull in at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, pitch black, pull into our driveway, and there's like the top of a tree coming at us. And like, I don't know that. I said, I wonder if this just happened. Apparently, a tree had fallen into our driveway like 3 or 4 days before, but they didn't want to ruin our vacation.
Aw.
So they didn't tell us.
That's
But
sweet.
what we learned though is literally it's the tree went up probably 20 feet because it's just the whole
the canopy
the
of branches
whole-
held it
yeah.
up.
Exactly. So
Wow.
so that was the thing with this too. Like the actual trunk did not hit
Yeah.
the building. It was a little dented, but it wasn't. So it looks like the gym is probably okay.
All
Good.
right, good.
That's good.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's been a crazy week.
That's
been a crazy
been
week.
the week.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we hope that everybody who's watching is safe and dry.
Yeah.
Or drying out.
Or drying out
Yeah.
Mhm.
and has the fans going and sunlight is happening. I'm hopeful.
Yeah. It was so
Um,
beautiful the next day. It was definitely like people needed that for the beginning of the
I
cleanup.
kept checking
because
my
it
my
was-
doorbell camera, and I was when it was raining, all I saw was like
White
Yeah.
dots.
rain, like the white dots come through, and then the next day I was like sunshine.
One of the- yeah.
birds tweeting, and I was like, I guess it's okay.
That's
Guess it's
happened.
over.
I've had that happen after tornadoes too. You're like the
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
day is
one of the
Gorgeous.
most beautiful days, right? We've
Crazy.
seen in ages.
It's crazy.
I don't know. Maybe
But
we're
anyway.
just appreciating it more. Who knows?
I know.
maybe so.
That
yeah.
could be
That's true.
part of it. That could
That's
be part of
true.
it.
But yeah, I mean, It was a crazy week. So what are we moving on to
Oh,
now? Are
yeah,
we doing
so
quiz?
I think we did our chatter and also
chatter.
and check-in, and we do appreciate all your thoughts and comments. And
Absolutely.
I did, when I posted our Labor Day hours, I did post a little something saying, you know, we were really lucky and okay, and we appreciate, and a lot of people reached out to see how we were doing.
Yeah.
So, we appreciate that very much.
I know, really. Really.
So, finished objects.
I have a semi-finished object.
So let's see.
Could you hand me
Semi-finished
my Tupperware socks?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is still whatever. Alright, so when I was at the Cape, I was doing like a whole bunch of stuff. So none of these are blocked, mind you. Mm-hmm. But I am continuing the Heel Project.
That's what I just called it, the Heel Project.
Heel Project. I'm doing, I'm in the middle of the short row heels. So just a reminder, this Heel Project is working through a whole bunch of different types of heels with little samples. So they all have the same 10 rows of 2x2 ribbing, 10 rows of stockinette. The heel is a color, and if it's like there's a gusset or anything like that, it's the entire heel from start to finish. And then 10 rows of stockinette and 10 rows of 1x1 ribbing. So the short row heels are really like, they could be toe up.
They're reversible.
They're reversible, but for the flap heels and whatnot, the 2x2 is like what's on your leg, and the 1x1 is like, imagine the foot. So this is Fish Lips Kiss heel. Which
very nice.
I do like the method, that short row method.
It's very neat.
It's a very classic short row heel in that it does not fit my foot.
Right,
but I do
it's very
like
shallow for me.
the short rows.
Well, one thing, can I just jump in?
Yeah.
One thing, you could do a few more rows before you did that, right? Would that be one way to, kind of keep that heel but add a little bit of depth to it?
There are a couple of different ways you can add depth to short row heels. The easiest one would be to do it over 2/3 of the stitches.
Ah, right.
The other way to do it is
like cut into the white more here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So instead of doing it over, this is a 64 stitch. Mm-hmm. Instead of doing it over 32, do it over 42.
Uh-huh.
And that automatically adds depth. Another way to do it is this one, which is a short row heel over half of the stitches, but before you start the short rows, you increase 25% of the stitches. So you do knit 4, make 1, knit 4, make 1, knit 4, make 1.
Interesting.
And then you do your classic short row heel.
Uh-huh.
And then you do, before you go back to the foot, you decrease 25 stitches. So you're doing it over 50% of the stitches, but you're increasing a lot more. And you can see the shape is a little odd. It's a little boom. But if you look at it, it's much deeper.
Yeah.
It's at least a half an inch deeper and wider than the other one. So that's not a bad option. And that one you can do with any short row method. So you could do this with Fish Lips Kiss.
Does it have to have one gray stripe or one?
So that was the boomerang row. If you do a Fish Lips Kiss style heel, then you don't need to do the boomerang row. So the boomerang row was where I was doing German short rows. And so I was going shorter each row, building a pyramid, and then I closed all of the short rows by going around the instep once, and then I started center and then building out to build a reverse pyramid. And that's mostly because of the method of closing the short rows. If I were doing the twin stitch method that the Fish Lips Kiss heel does, or even a wrap and turn, which I don't love doing, you would have to double wrap some of your short row stitches. So which is tricky to do when you're doing a German short row because you've already pulled it over to make it like a little double. So because you come to, when you go narrow, right? And then you build back out. So you're going narrow, and then you have like a wrap here and a wrap here, or a double stitch here and a double stitch here. So when you go wider, you have to work the double stitch, and then you have to wrap the next stitch. So that stitch has 2 wraps, 2 closures. Does that make sense?
Sort of. I'd have to. I'm not.
You'd have to do it.
Oral learner. I need a visual.
Yeah. The other thing you could do instead of that is that a couple of places have or resources suggested just doing 2 trapezoids. So like build a pyramid and then work one row back and then build another pyramid. Because it essentially gives the same shape.
Yeah, I can see that.
But your line, your diagonal line is a little bit different. And the other thing is that for Fish Lips Kiss specifically, it was your first base when you build the pyramid is you stop 2 stitches short on each side, and then you stop 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, building up your pyramid, so that you only, when you do that closure at the end, you've built your pyramid, and then you close it all up, you go to 1 stitch short. So you have 2 stitches on the side, you have 1 plain stitch right here. So after you've built your pyramid, you can knit out to your plain stitch, and then you can build your pyramid back up.
Yeah.
It's tricky, but it's good.
Yeah, see, like the reason I feel like a lot of people like Fish Lips Kiss, aside from having copious amounts of direction.
Almost too many directions.
A lot. Including some, like, where to place it, which is good, but it's a lot.
Yeah. But also you can do this with a contrast color.
Yes.
Whereas if you did this one with a contrast, you'd have 1 row of contrast color going around, or like this one would have a few rows of contrast color going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the contrast thing is
that
definitely...
one's nice. I like
This is a short row heel. This is an hourglass heel, so that's the build the pyramid up, build the pyramid out. Over 60% of stitches with German short rows.
I like this one a lot.
That's the 60% of stitches.
This
is also block,
Yeah.
so it looks a lot better.
That looks so nice. And it's block.
But that one you can do contrast.
Yeah.
So this is...
But it's a little bit deeper.
This is an
looks like it would
hourglass
fit
also.
my foot better.
Yes. And that is over 50% of stitches. So you can see the difference in the 50%. Same heel.
Yeah.
50%. 60%. That alone makes a whole difference. And you can do this heel.
60% is not... It's not that many,
It's not that many more.
But
it's
it makes a big difference.
For a 60-ish.
Or 6, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be, cool.
So this is done over 42 stitches.
That would look...
This is done over 32.
Yeah.
And it looks nice.
Like
it fits.
That one.
Well, and this is the thing. Like, I have a high instep, so I need a deep heel. If you have a lower instep or narrow feet, that short row heel might fit you better.
Perfect, yeah.
And I'll show you this interesting one, because this is the sweet tomato heel. It's very round. It's a much different shape. So that might fit other folks. And this is 3 sweet tomato wedges. My short rows are not great on this one, FYI. I do like her methodology for closing short rows, which she calls Thanks Ma. It's basically a lifted stitch, but I prefer the I prefer the Fish Lips Kiss or German short row. Fish Lips Kiss has a twin stitch, which is a very interesting one, and it makes a very snug short row. So if you're struggling with short rows, try the German short row. Try your sweet tomato short row.
I love
or
the German
try the twin stitch, which is another really good one. But yeah, the sweet tomato one, it's a deep heel. Like, I mean, I could block it out like this, but it's very naturally
round.
like rounded.
Yeah. It does. It kind of looks like a tomato.
It does.
It's very aptly
Little
named.
tomato wedges.
Yeah.
So this is the short row heel over 50%. Stacked trapezoids, which means you go wide to narrow, and then you go wide to narrow again, and it has a couple of boomerang rows, which means you go around the whole thing a couple of times. That also adds a little bit of depth.
Right.
Can't do the contrast.
I agree. I'm all about the contrast.
Yeah.
I'll talk about my socks
this
soon.
One?
And
it got misplaced.
Yes, that is that one.
All right.
Sorry, my phone is dinging. So that is really the only finished object I have, but I am not...
That's awesome.
I am not yet done. I have a couple more... Is the sweet tomato? There it is. I have a couple more short row ones to do. And then there's like...
It's pretty... there must be like 30 in there by now or something.
Yeah, I know, there's a stack.
So we have had a lot of questions about what you're going to do. We definitely have to catalog this.
We're going to catalog it for sure. I am thinking, because they definitely fall into categories, and not just heel flap, short row, afterthought, within heel flap there are distinct categories as well, that are all kind of variations on a theme. And there's like 3 or 4 within the heel flap. And the short row, there are a couple of, you know, they're all essentially a similar kind of thing, and it's just tweaking the numbers.
Yeah.
And then the afterthought, the same thing, where it's like variations on the wedge heel or variations on this. So I'm thinking maybe like a video series.
Yeah.
Like going over each section. And I mean, depending on how long I talk about each one, maybe it's like I could talk about like the French heel chunks. Because there's not much difference between a French heel, a Dutch heel, like a modified French heel, a round heel. They're all the same concept, knit to the center or some number of stitches past center and do the same stuff, right? So it's all the same thing.
Yeah, and they really highlight what the differences are.
They really highlight what the differences are. And but like I can also talk about like the differences in fit and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that you wanted a blog post. Maybe
Well,
we'll do
yeah,
the video
because
first.
if
And
it's
then the blog
video,
post.
then I have to edit it.
That's true.
If it's blog, then you have to.
If it's a blog, then I have to edit it.
That's right.
And I don't know. And maybe we can do. I know you're talking about photographing
we
them
can
as
do
well,
both.
so we can do some kind of thing. I think, you know, I don't know. Some people like to kind of learn just from videos, but also we may want to do something where people could like
Something
print it
written.
off or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Helps them
not
have
a
both.
book per se,
Yeah.
but we can look into
Yeah.
that. So.
Well, and the other thing I was thinking is
The posts with videos in them are useful because a lot of times I don't want to watch a whole video. Find out the
I want to see
information
the details. I want to
Yeah,
read
exactly.
the instructions.
Yeah.
Actually, that kind of is a nice segue to something I did yesterday, if you don't mind me jumping
Sure,
in
yeah.
with our sewing finished object.
Yes.
So those of you who've been watching for a long time know that Haley had been with us. She was home from school. She's now going to Mount Holyoke in Massachusetts, a lot closer. She's so happy.
Is she loving it?
She's loving it. She's
Yay.
loving it. But one thing she misses our dog Anna.
Oh.
So I made her a pillow yesterday.
Look at that. That's adorable.
It's Anna pillow.
It's an Anna pillow.
Is it life size?
It is actually larger than life size.
I was gonna say she's a tiny dog.
She's
so
22 pounds, but it's slightly larger than life size. It's called Minky. It's fabric that I ordered on Spoonflower, and it actually came
look
really
at that.
quickly.
I love
This
Spoonflower.
is such a good idea.
The thing that I watched a video for the other day, because I was a costume design major for a while, guys, so like I know my way around a sewing machine, right? I couldn't remember. I'm like, I need to watch something about how to put in a zipper because I don't want to mess it up. So seriously, I watched this great little video about putting in a zipper, and unfortunately this fabric is so slippery, it still it kind of rolled around, and I still got a little bit of white
That's all right.
on the edge.
So is the other side white.
That looks better than any zipper I've ever put in my life.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously, that looks fantastic.
I love the fabric. I love that it's like that it can be pet. Basically,
Nice.
that was why
It's
I
like our
ordered.
own portable Anna.
Yeah. It is like a portable Anna, but you know, I'm sure you all, if you're on Facebook and Instagram or whatever, you know, you've seen ads for like those dog pillows that are the shape of the dogs. I ordered fabric originally to make that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try the rectangle first because I know I can do this. It took me like an hour and a half altogether. And I got this far, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because
No dog-shaped pillow for you, Haley.
It is so slippery. It just slides all over the place. The
Yeah.
fabric, but yeah. And I cut down a pillow that we had at home to fit because it's a little bit of an odd shape. Also, if you are making pillows, one tip for like a medium-sized pillow, if you're in like 16, 17 inches. You want a pillow form that is 1 inch bigger than your dimensions.
Yes.
If you were doing like a 20 inch, you want 2 inches bigger.
Like
so you
1
use
inch
like
in both directions, height and width?
Yeah, so like whatever they call it. If they call it an 18 by 18 form, an 18 by 18 form is good for a 17 by 17 pillowcase.
Oh, okay.
And that's what makes it nice and puffy. So like
when you hit 20.
When you hit 20 is when they say to go to 2. I watched a lot of videos yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really
that's good
did.
This is good
information.
knowledge.
But you'll give me links so if people want to do this for
Yes.
their pets?
Yes, I will. I'm a big fan of Spoonflower. I've been ordering fabric and like having designs on Spoonflower probably almost 10 years now. It's a
I
really
used to have
great
Yarnia project bags.
Yeah,
and I did not get one.
Oh, we can do that again. And
have one
actually,
either.
I have I have one somewhere.
Yeah, everybody else got one. I was like, oh, I'll save them for the customers, and then I did, and then the customers bought them all.
We
I got
we
one
can
either.
do more. We can do more. And actually, I have a really good idea with that I will talk to you about later. So I need to actually, now that they're, for sometimes, I guess it's probably when they run sales and things, but Spoonflower can get pretty backed up, and sometimes it takes a month till your fabric comes, which is also I'm never willing to pay like $20 to ship it, 2 days.
No.
Like, because sometimes it's like, pay the $20, and it's not just them. It's like, I'm ordering a lot of fabric. It's heavy. I understand. Believe me, I know about postage. I'm the one who does all of our shipping here. Know more about postage than I ever wanted to know.
Kathleen is our postage expert.
Sadly, sad but true. Ask me questions. But sometimes it'll say, we'll ship in like 7 to 9 business days, or for $20 we'll ship it in 5 to 6 business days. I'm like, is it really worth?
Yeah.
And then and I think the estimate I can talk for this was 7 to 9 business days, and I think they shipped in like 5 anyway.
Yeah.
So it came pretty quickly.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the other thing that I always feel like, I'm like, I need it now. I'm going to pay for the extra shipping. And then it sits in my house for 3 days because I don't get my act together. So I'm like, I should just wait.
Clothing, I sometimes do it. It's like if I'm really that anxious, it's like, I need new t-shirts. Or with ModCloth, I need that dinosaur dress tomorrow.
I need the dinosaur dress now. God, I love ModCloth.
Oh, man.
I am wearing a ModCloth skirt.
Yeah.
It has pockets.
Nice. Mm-hmm. All about the pockets, right?
I love it. I have it in 4 colors.
So I will give you all the links for this.
Awesome.
But
because I can think, I would like a guinea pig pillow.
That would be fun. And you can make it tiny too, right?
Yeah, well, but it's going to be a while. Let's just be realistic, because I'm full up on things to do. But I can think of some kids that would really enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
So, I know Haley's actually she's been too busy. I don't think she watched our last podcast yet. So
she's got school.
And she's making friends and stuff.
That's great.
They went to Northampton on Sunday, I guess. Yeah, because they had a full 3-day weekend too. No commitments. And she said, I asked her, I don't know, Saturday morning something. You have a lot of homework? She's like, no, not really, just some readings. So,
nice.
It was early enough. It had 1 week of school at that point.
Yeah.
So
Catherine had a quiz this morning. She was not thrilled, but she still came to the beach with us this week.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice. Good.
Her
good.
priorities are still good.
Yeah,
Do you have any other finished objects?
I do. Actually, I'm wearing one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and actually, this is my Devonshire, which I started actually. I'm gonna move this out, and I wore a nice contrasting shirt. So can you see the lace on the back?
Yes.
Can you see the color coming through?
Oh my gosh.
You can if you go in front of the camera.
Oh, I should.
Yeah, you might need to go up.
I'll go around yours.
Step up 1 step. There you go.
There. Oh,
Can you
perfect. Yes, now you can see it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, you totally can see the color coming through the lace.
It looks great.
Thank you. I'm really happy with it. So, I made this sweater, Devonshire, I don't know, like 10 years ago maybe, when it was a Pattern and Twist collective. It is by Pam Powers. And I made it in DK as it was specified to be made, and I liked it a lot, but it just, I wanted it was 3/4 sleeves. I don't know, there's something about the structure of it. It did slide off my shoulders a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, I just decided I wanted a sweater in black. And I wanted this sweater in black. So I made a few changes. It has a kind of like a V-shaped front, actually, in the original pattern. And I straightened it out.
Mm-hmm.
I made it. I made it.
I
think it's 13 inches is my preferred length to my hip, basically. Yeah. And made full length sleeves. And what else? And I made it in worsted. So I did all the math to do that. Don't recommend you do that. Find a DK you like.
Changing the gauge is
or
possible, but annoying.
Pam has put out a pattern in worsted. Didn't you say there's a worsted version of this?
No, that was the Rocket Tee.
Oh,
that was the Rocket Tee. Which after I did all the math, I found out that there actually was a DK version.
JK, of it. Ignore that.
But check first before you change gauge, because it is really a pain in the
Well, the thing was, I probably bought this yarn. I probably did buy this yarn 3 or 4 years ago. I think I bought this yarn shortly after we opened the store.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, we didn't have a black superwash that I wanted in DK that I wanted to do the sweater in. And I thought I was going to do this right away. This was going to be on my summer project. Totally. I think I swatched for it. I came back to it the next summer. I'm like, I should really work on this. I didn't. So I picked it up. I picked it up a year ago, basically. And I checked my gauge again, and I think I did the back. Or maybe I did the back and the fronts last summer. And then I kept saying to myself at the beginning of this summer, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna get on it. And finally, like, after the last podcast, I really did get into it. And one thing I did was I used the sleeve technique in Andy Satterland's A Crop Sweater for Winter.
Oh, that looks like it's set in, but it is not.
No, well, to me, it looks nicer than it's set in, because I feel like they never look that good when you have to sew in sleeves.
I feel like it's so really tricky to set in sleeves. I always prefer to pick up stitches and then do like the short row.
Yeah.
Really picky trick. It's a great technique.
And what I did was I counted the number of stitches I had going around my armhole. I looked at the pattern to see if any of them had a similar number. They did, and I just followed those directions.
Excellent.
It was so easy. I have to update my project on Ravelry to put that as a in this pattern or in this project I use this pattern too, because and this hasn't been blocked. I literally
it looks fantastic.
I sewed on. I did a little steam blocking on the lace on the front.
I was going to say the lace is opened up nicely.
Oh, and I got some of our beautiful shell buttons. I remember when we picked these, I was like, eventually I'm going to use these on something.
That's the perfect thing to use.
So I think so. I think it goes really nicely.
And you have buttons on it already, man.
I'm really trying to.
Jen is impressed.
I am impressed. I still have sweaters without sleeves. I have sweaters I have finished without buttons.
Well, this was a sweater without sleeves for a good year. This was a sweater like in progress mentally for 3 years. So it's you're not alone.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
You're not alone.
I'm still a slacker. That's all right.
No, you've got a lot going on.
No, I'm easily distracted.
I know the feeling. But so yeah, I'm so excited to finally have finished this. And so when we get to whips, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do next, because I hardly have any whips.
A whip plan.
Yes, exactly. We do have whip plans.
There we go.
And I will talk about my last finished object, which I also finished last night. Sure, you take one. I'll take one.
Oh, I love this color.
This is just a plain vanilla sock with a fleagle heel. I loved the fleagle heel, which I did
great. Fleagle heels are great.
So to me, a fleagle heel makes a sock 100% portable.
Right?
You really don't have to think about it at any point in time.
Because you can do it on whatever you're doing the main stitches on.
Because what are the things that slow me down? The Kitchener, which I should know, but I don't, off the top of my head. You
don't need a tapestry needle for it.
I don't need to count, for heel flap and gusset and all that. Exactly. Yeah. It's just, so it makes it totally portable.
Are these toe up or top down?
They're toe up.
Gotcha.
And that's why, I don't have to worry about the
I like the fleagle toe up. I don't love the way it fits top down. It's slightly wider.
I tried your thing on when we were here, and I definitely liked the way it fit toe up better. One thing I will say, I am a very loose knitter, which those of you who've watched before will have heard me say pretty much every episode. It's true. And also, Jen is somewhat of a loose knitter. I'm a really loose knitter. Because if you look at Jen's...
We're in spectrum.
Yeah. Amanda's on gauge. Jen is a little loose. I am a loose woman. Right?
Wow, Kathleen.
It's true. In knitting terms.
There's your podcast title.
In knitting terms. So, I love this yarn. This is Bala Hoya.
I'm not putting that as a comment on the cover of our video.
Oh my god, you totally should!
We're going to get lots of clicks that we don't intend to.
Love Bala Hoya. I've seen the Crazy Sock Lady make beautiful socks with it. I've seen my daughter Haley make beautiful socks with it.
So nice.
It's a little thick for me. This is on zeros, and I did 56 stitches. And
wow.
There's still a little... Well,
you are a loose knitter.
I'm such a loose knitter. And I tension my yarn. I wrap it around my wrist. I can't do it around my fingers, but do it around my wrist. Anyway, the first one is pretty good. The second one is probably the one you're holding. Is definitely a little bit loose.
Have you washed and blocked them yet?
No, not yet.
Try washing them
I
first.
will. And you know what? They're going to be boot socks. I will totally wear these with boots.
I mean, they're adorable.
They're really cute.
I love them.
But I think for the most part, I'm going to be sticking with my Tosh sock, which I know I can easily get gauge with and spun right round.
Yeah.
I've got two great brands that, I love that we carry that in some ways I don't need to have more.
It's hard when you have too much choice.
It's hard enough to pick from among our 20 colors of Tosh and a dozen colors of spun right round. So
at least this way you can winnow down 30 colors of Bala Hoya, right?
Exactly.
Because then you can be like, okay.
You should do some fun stripes of the West Yorkshire spinners, though.
The West Yorkshire spinner stripies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be cute.
These are all done in West Yorkshire spinners, and I love.
Yeah, and actually the Regia too. I've done the Regia, and that's fine. So, anyway, part of it's like learn what works for you. You know, it's like I'm not going to fight my natural tendency to be loose.
Yep.
It's better not to fight that.
I don't want to go to double zeros.
I was going to say,
I know I
could go to double zeros.
The zeros actually, my hand was hurting the other day, and I have been doing a lot of knitting lately, number one. But I think it's just how small the needle is and everything.
They're little.
You know, they're tiny. Zeros are tiny, and I'm fine with them most of the time. But I don't. It's not about. I mean, the stitch count's the same, but I don't know. I'm comfortable at zero, and I'm just going to use yarn that works for me at zero.
Yeah.
So do that.
Totally.
So that's me.
Yeah.
You
I have vanilla socks too.
Woo!
Because we finished our vanilla sock.
Love those.
They're so pretty.
Yay! So I finished my what was it? Simply Curious sock by Helen Stewart, which is what we did for our vanilla sock knit along, which is now finished. It ran for the whole month of August.
Yay!
And I have some finished objects to share. I'll put them in here.
Oh, great.
I did mine in the Regia, in the Arne and Carlos Lofolton colorway, one of their colorways from their new Lofolton line.
I love it.
But yeah, this was, I actually counted up because the last session of our knit along, I brought out, I don't know, maybe 10 socks that I've done out of our sock drawer and shown like, this is what, Tosh sock looks like. If you wash it for 4 years on hot with all your family's laundry. This is what Spun Right Round looks like. This is what Knitted Vet looks like. This is what Ancient Arts looks like, right? Like, and this is what it looks like new. And this is what it looks like in a laundry bag. This is what Opal looks like. This is what Regia looks like. So I went through like, it was a show and tell of everything, like my whole sock drawer. And so you could see, because, when you finish knitting them, your socks look all nice and new and all the stitches are crisp, and then you wear them in your boots. There are tips and tricks to what you should and should not wear in boots, specifically black boots if you don't want the black rubbing off on the heels.
Excuse me. But leather dye will transfer.
It will transfer and make you very sad if you're not wearing a dark heel. But anyway, yeah, so I think that was it's helpful to see what somebody else has done sometimes, so that, depending on how much you care about your socks and want them to keep looking pristine, but you still want to wear them, you can make choices that let you do that. Or if you're like me and your solution is like, well, if they get ratty and messed up, I'll just knit a new pair. That makes room in my drawer.
Right, exactly. Oh, good. Now I have room for more. I was knitting some of the heels at the pool yesterday because it was hot and we were there, and a friend of mine was like, oh, well, you've got to be like really careful with your socks, like your hand knit socks. And I was like, no, you need to talk to Amanda who washes them with the family's laundry on hot. I'm like, superwash socks. And she was like, what's superwash? And I was like, well, let me tell you what superwash is.
Yeah.
We had a quick wardrobe change.
Yeah, I needed warm. I got a card from the vendor and took off my sweater because it's warm. As much as it's September, it's a little warm for a full-length wool sweater.
It is technically still summer.
That's true.
Yeah, it is technically still summer.
But
wardrobe changes are acceptable.
But also, I'm so happy that it's September. It really is my favorite month.
Yeah, it's
in so many ways.
Football started. walking
There
around.
you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just
Roll
like,
Tide.
school. Roll Tide.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I think that's all I'm gonna say about these. Except that if you're playing Sock Bingo,
Yes, of course. How could we forget?
yeah, I think I showed them on the last episode all the squares that these check off. I have new socks to, I have progress on socks I started and got that far on for next time, but I'm not sharing those this time because there's still that much progress. But now that I've finished these, cast them off and kitchen to the toes, I will show progress on my next ones next time.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to see my other finished off?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you have?
Okay, the other one is
Oh yeah, so cute.
teddy bear sweater for Charlie.
I like it. It's really fun.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah, no, this was great because I had knit the teddy bear sweater 3 times. I really liked it. It is it raises the back nicely up here in the back, but it's still just like plain raglan.
Yeah.
Good DK weight pattern for a kid's sweater, right? It goes all the way to size 7. Is it? I don't know,
That's
size
great.
7 or 9. So yeah, it goes all the way from like newborn to
Kid.
elementary school age.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it has a good fit. So I will say, like in the baby sizes, you have to the stitch count on the collar. I think I mentioned this in prior episodes. I cast on the larger body size needle and then switch to the two sizes smaller for the ribbing, because often you knit a ribbing for sleeves or collars or bottom and 2 inches, two sizes, 2 needle sizes smaller. But knitting on or casting on the larger needle just gives you a little bit more give.
So it gets over their heads.
Kids' heads are huge.
They are.
But
They
at the
are.
larger sizes, like this goes over Charlie's head just fine, and I didn't do that. You have more stitch count to work with. But yeah, so I used the King Cole instead of doing another teddy bear sweater for Charlie, which would have been cute. Charlie is 3 now. I just used the King Cole Cherish, which self-patterns, and I let it flow.
It looks
I
great.
didn't do anything
Yeah.
with it, so it actually looks super classy on him. We were in Rhode Island for Labor Day, and I took this project. I had one sleeve finished. I took it in the car, and I had this much of the sleeve done, so I just finished the sleeve in the car and woven all the ends. And then he had his sweater to wear, because
Yay.
you need a sweater when you're at the beach in Rhode
You do.
Island.
It gets cold.
Yeah. Always.
So he actually did
Always
wear it,
easy.
and it hasn't been washed or blocked or anything, but
It looks
Looks
great.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That King Cole, man,
it's great, right?
it's a really great yarn.
So,
If you are knitting for kids or, wool averse folks or,
yep.
need a
This
really
is
high
100%
quality.
acrylic. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great high quality acrylic.
Yes.
Like,
oh,
so
absolutely.
fantastic.
And I can throw this in the wash, in the dryer, and it'll be just fine. Yeah. So this is Charlie's new sweater, and he
I love
loves
it.
it, and it's
It's
soft,
so cute.
and he wears it. He wore it. He was
Aw.
very happy with it. If you are super obsessive about patterning, completing a row before the colors change, like I said last time, the larger circumference, because this is knit in the round,
Yeah.
might not be for you.
Right where the sleeves. It's
The
like
sleeves are
those
perfect,
longest. It's like that longest row right there where you have the body and the sleeve width.
Yeah.
But that's what, 3 rows?
Yeah.
fine.
I don't care. And on a fast-moving 3-year-old, you really can't tell.
It's all a blur.
Yeah, they are just a blur. But the pattern actually manages probably nicer on the sleeves, which are a smaller circumference, or if you were doing a flat knitted, where you
A
have a
cardigan.
front
Oh yeah, you could do
Yeah.
a front.
and a back, and then seamed, then you would have widths that are, narrower
compatible,
and
yeah.
you'd
I
get.
have to say though, on the body part,
It's
it
really
looks
cute.
great.
I think
really
it's fun.
cute.
Yeah,
And
it looks
it's
like
like
little
it's
stripes
a
and
little
fleece.
detail that they're
Yeah.
different, heights basically.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Very
I like
fun.
it a lot.
Yeah.
So this is
great.
Charlie's sweater. I measured it to his dimensions. I was a little worried that I knit the body too long because I just kept going and I didn't realize that I was going so long. But whatever, it'll just
He'll wear
He'll
it
get
a little
taller.
longer.
He'll get taller.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so these sleeves are measured to fit. A lot of times sleeves are longer than the body, but it actually fits him really well. I put it on him and it doesn't like sag below his booty. So it
so
fits
maybe
right at
he's
his
like-
waistline. Maybe
That's
he's
good.
long waist
He
or
He might be
so.
long waist, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was my
Phew.
other finished object.
Yay.
And it was immediately useful.
So
Absolutely.
handy. I love that when you're like, done and
Yes.
on. And there we go.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you about my works in progress?
I do want to tell
Sure.
you, I want you to tell us about your works in progress.
All right.
Can't
I
talk
will
either.
tell you about my works in progress. Because if worst comes to worst, I have a call at 11, which is in 30 minutes. Surely we'll be done.
We can do it.
But
We can do it.
We can do it.
we've said that before.
We like to talk.
So, yes.
No problem.
Oh, we're chatty.
So we went to Rhode Island for 5 nights, 6 days.
Nice.
Right? Wednesday to Monday. And got back. And got back yesterday. And I only took, in addition to the sleeve, which I finished before we got through Connecticut. Right?
Connecticut,
On the
man.
drive up there.
It's long.
Driving through Connecticut is the worst. I'm sorry. It's the worst.
All right, well,
It's
if
a-
you're going to the Cape or toward Rhode Island,
Yeah.
yeah.
It takes forever.
Yeah.
It does take
Yeah.
forever. But I finished this, like I took it in the car, but I finished it before we even got that far. So I only took 2 projects, because that was my discipline of,
Mhm.
I am going to make progress on these projects.
Because they're the only ones I have with me.
They're the only ones I had to,
I have to.
I've done that.
right.
Good
So
strategy.
one that I took, which I need to wind up more yarn for, was my dad's sweater.
Mhm.
And I only took one, I took a full skein, and I knit through the full skein,
Good job.
and I just made more progress on the body of the sweater.
Very nice.
So that's it. It's a man sweater. Man means no shaping.
Right,
So you're
true.
just like literally,
Knit the
anytime
two.
that I was like on the beach, this was my beach project, I like took it, anytime I was like having to pay attention to kids or, you know, something like that, or I was exhausted and needed a brain break. I had a 9-month-old who has learned to walk on the beach, right?
Go.
Talk about stress.
That is not a relaxing
Not
beach
fun.
day.
Not fun.
That's, it's such a pain. He eats sand.
Oh, no.
Crazy.
Oh, no.
Like just anytime you're
Mouthfuls
not
of
watching him, he's like stuffing fistfuls of sand in his mouth, and he gets mad that there's sand in his mouth, and then he cries.
Oh my goodness.
Teddy. At least he'll like touch the sand. Max was like, he would not go off of the, we'd take him to the beach and he's like, yay, water. And then he would be like, and like when he set foot on the sand. And I was like,
I'll put a video in here of Teddy on the beach. This is a beach baby. Okay, the waves are hitting him, and he doesn't care. He's happy. You think he's gonna tip over, and he doesn't. But anyway, so that's Teddy on the beach. It was not relaxing.
no.
I did not get anything done, except every once in a while I'd get half a row done on this, right? And then yesterday on the car ride home, I finished out the skein that I had because my brain was tired, exhausted.
Stuck in,
I need a
in the
vacation
round,
for my
man.
trip.
Yeah, that's
So
so
you
often.
had a trip, not a vacation.
That's the way it is when you travel with kids. Yeah, it's
It's
you
the
usually
worst
do need a
when you
vacation
travel
when
with
get
newly
back.
mobile babies.
Yeah,
It gets better from here. Every beach
Yeah.
trip for the rest of my life will be better.
Oh yeah. I mean, wait until he's
We had
potty
so much
trained.
fun. We had so much fun.
That's
I mean,
good.
they were great. The kids were great. They all got along lovely. Everybody had super much fun, but it was exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting trying to keep them from like, you know.
Oh, this is Jared Flood, Cobblestone.
Oh yes.
By the
yes.
way,
Oh, yeah.
Pattern.
And
Jared Flood Cobblestone, but you can't really tell right now because it's a waistband and a plain stockinette body.
Mhm.
And it's an LRA Rustic Aran.
which is New Zealand wool and silk.
Yes.
Organic wool too.
It
right?
is not
organic.
rustic.
It's
It
not
looks-
rustic.
I know,
This is like
yeah,
delicious.
They call it rustic. It's not.
Yeah, feel it. in
Maybe
stockinette.
slightly rustic
Oh
in
my
look.
god.
but-
Right, it feels super nice.
Oh yeah.
So
I
this
don't
is
really like a Felix in this.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Distracted. Distracted.
I will say, like, I'm knitting this on a 7. You would probably have to knit it on a 3. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. You'd probably knit it on a 5. Oh, are we kidding?
Yeah, but I feel like I'm getting a good gauge for this yarn on a 7.
Yeah. that's
So,
nice.
which to me is not Aran, cage.
No, I
don't
feel
think
like
that's Aaron.
that's much
worsted.
more of a
It's more
worsted.
of a worsted.
It really is.
Yeah, it's a worsted.
So FYI, if anybody's like looking.
Sometimes the names can be deceiving. Often the names, like I find actually when a lot of times when a manufacturer puts a weight of yarn in the name, it's often wrong.
Yeah, don't trust
It's
it.
often misleading. Why is that? That is a weird thing.
I wonder
That's
also,
not the only one though. It's
Well,
really not.
remember Cascade 220 fingering? It's like, why do you put 220?
why do you, right, because the 220 for Cascade 220 refers to how many yards for
Yards.
100 grams.
But I think they actually put.
But those were 50 grams.
Those were 50 grams.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Consistency, folks.
It's crazy.
Consistency.
Oh, I feel like there's another way. Another one too. Yeah, sometimes they're like very not.
Yeah. I remember.
Oh, lace.
Oh, yeah,
There's been some lace decays. Like,
Yeah.
anyway.
Make up your mind. Laser decay.
Here's the thing, all else fails, swatch.
Yeah.
Or I was going to say, all else fails, ask the person working at the yarn store.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll know.
They should know.
Yes.
We know.
Hopefully.
We know.
Yeah.
What else you got?
And then the other project that I took
Ooh.
Look out.
was
So pretty. You've made a lot of progress.
the Mino. I was thinking Miro. Milo.
Mhm.
You're
Myro?
close.
Mino.
Mino.
The Mino vest, which was from By Hand magazine.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Not this one, although this is Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
That's where you work.
that's where I was.
Yes.
And this yarn is Northlight Fibers from Rhode Island in this
Yeah.
issue. But I'm making the Mino vest by Sylvia Watts-Cherry from the London lookbook, which I think was number 11 or 12, which is completely out of print.
Mm-hmm.
But this is now available on Ravelry, which it was
Oh,
not.
good.
That's
It's,
good.
yeah,
When you
can
started
find
it
on
wasn't,
Ravelry.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So I took this because I had gotten to about here.
Mm-hmm.
About somewhere down here, which was right before the sleeve divide. I had like 4 rows to the sleeve divide. And honestly, I was super intimidated by knitting flat. Straight
The
in
color work
work.
flat.
And I was not disciplined myself to like do it when I was at home when I had other projects around. I was always like,
I'll do something else. Oh
Anything
yeah.
else.
Don't we all do that
This is going to
sometimes,
require
right?
effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I was packing for this trip, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this so that I have to work on it.
Well, also, it was so nice. You were there. You know where Northlight
Yes,
is and everything,
yeah,
right?
that's why I wanted to take it too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I wanted to take this and show them the work I was doing. So I worked on it, and now guess what? I made progress, and it
You
was
did.
not as hard as I thought it would be.
Good.
It
Good,
totally was not, and actually, there's some benefits to knitting your color work flat, especially on the purl side. You can see your floats.
Yes,
So
definitely.
you can tell if they're tight or not. You
Yeah.
can actually visually see,
Yeah.
is this float tight?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's
I will
not.
Loosen it up a
adjust
little
it.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Oh my goodness. So it was actually, it took, I'd say, the first row was slow and the first row was loose.
Mm-hmm.
But I
But
feel like a
then
little
I sort
bit
of-
loose is better than
Yeah.
a little bit tight.
So maybe my gauge is slightly wonky for a few rows here. That's okay. I don't care.
You're gonna block it too.
I'm
You're
totally
gonna block it.
Yeah. But I made so much progress. This is the back. So the sleeve divide is here. And then I basically did all that
That's
on the
great.
trip.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So I made a lot of progress on that.
And I'll tell you, this feels
This must be amazing.
amazing.
So nice.
It's like
So nice.
It
This
is like buttery
Spring
mint
Street, right?
chip.
This is
Yes.
the fingering, Northlight
Yes,
fingering.
the Spring
God, I
Street.
love
no,
it.
Yeah, is that Spring Street? Yes.
yes,
that is
Spring Street is the fingering.
Spring Street. So while we were in Rhode Island, we did take a day trip on Friday to Block Island, which you can take a ferry from Narragansett, I want to say, and over to Block Island. It's like a 30-minute ferry. So we went over at 11, had some lobster rolls, which were delicioso.
I bet.
And then
lobster rolls.
we didn't take a car, so we just walked up the hill to Northlight Fibers. They have an amazing farm, which not a sheep herd. It's like
food
a
farm.
petting zoo almost.
Fun.
It's so fun to take kids. My kids, the 9-year-old and 6-year-old, picked up chickens for 30 minutes. 40
Wow.
minutes?
Wow.
Like, they just have chickens, and you can, like, go and catch them and pick them up. And then they go flap, 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 flap down, and then you go run and pick up another one. So, yeah, like, my kids played with chickens. They have all sorts of goats and llamas and yak and camels and tortoise and bunnies.
Wow,
and
tortoise?
I love
donkeys and
I had no idea they had so many animals there.
I want to go.
oh. So they are having a retreat next spring, and we have 5 spots reserved for Yarnia.
Yay!
People.
All right.
For Yarnia, right? Like, and if we have more interest in that, we can expand our block. But if you're interested in more information, as that information comes together, email retreats@shopyarnia.com.
Cool.
And I'll put you on the list to be on that mailing list when it comes out.
Very
Yay!
nice.
So we're super excited. I'm super excited about that.
You too can pick up a chicken.
I need to go to Rhode Island without 5 children.
Oh my god, yeah.
They have great instructors. The inn is like right there, the 1661 Inn.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that will be really lovely.
Wow.
Would
Cool.
love to
That'd be great.
hang out with some
Do we
of
know
my-
the dates?
It is the 3rd weekend in May, the weekend after Mother's Day.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Cool.
So I think that would be an excellent Mother's Day gift.
It would.
I
Oh my
agree.
goodness. Yeah.
Feel free
The
to
only thing you want.
nudge folks
Mhm.
in that direction if need be. I'm a big fan of just emailing, get me this.
This is what I want.
Right.
Yes, I had totally been
This is
known to
mine.
do that.
Thank you.
So
Amazing.
I also took a lot of footage while I was at Northlight Fibers. I'm going to be compiling all that. Probably not this week because I'm coming back after a vacation. I got tons of work stuff to do. We've got tons of store stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's just too much for me to get that video together this week. But it's coming soon.
Yeah. Cool.
Lots of like behind the scenes footage of how their yarn is spun
Nice.
inside, and like views of Block Island, so you'll know what to expect.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
exciting.
yeah, so that's coming. So this is my Mino vest. Maybe by next spring it'll be ready. Actually, it'll be done this fall.
You'll be done.
It'll be
yeah,
done.
you'll
Yeah.
be able to wear it this fall.
But I have a lot of other
Yeah.
projects I'm working on. So
Yeah, but you
that
made
might
so much
take a little
progress.
You really
It's
did.
going really
Yay!
nicely.
I'm super excited
All
about
right.
this. Though. I'm
Good.
so proud of myself.
You did such a
Yeah.
good job.
Definitely.
Color
Yay.
work flat with 5 children on vacation? What? No wonder you needed your dad's stockinette sweater.
Well, I know.
Totally,
Well, so
totally.
I will say, like, that was my 45 minutes at night when my kids were asleep.
Yes.
After they were asleep, and I'm like, I need
I just
to
need
just
to do some knitting.
have a cup of tea. I'm doing some knitting at night.
Right.
That was what I worked on. Or in the morning when Teddy woke up at 7 a.m. every morning.
Mhm.
Early
My
bird.
husband and I sort of like alternated who got up with him, and when I got up with him, I mean, in the morning he's super happy, so he'll like go play with his toys and crawl around, and he comes and sees you, and then he goes off and crawls around and comes and sees you, right? And so then I could work on it too, because it's relatively quiet. But that's going on. I also realized, and I forgot to put it in last time or mention it, I also went to the New Jersey State Fair
Ooh.
Oh wow.
in August up in Sussex County,
Mhm.
and took a lot of video footage of the state fair and all
Oh,
the
cool.
knitting competitions
Yeah.
and things like that, which I will compile that and put it together for the
Oh,
future
fun.
as well.
Cool.
So I have
Nice.
lots of minis, like
Cool.
shorty videos coming for you.
Nice.
So those are both in my queue. The very last thing I've been working on. How are we doing on time?
We
12
are
minutes.
12 minutes.
See, I told you. And I'm going to have to bail again. Is my Pokemon project.
Oh yes.
Yeah, let's
So-
let's see.
Oh,
I
and,
have-
and actually, if anyone's wondering, we are sold out of the Pokemon minis.
Oh.
Somebody ordered the list.
But we're
over the
getting
weekend.
more-
But the August,
Oh.
do we know if we can, now that it's
I'm going
September?
to unwrap mine
All right.
right here, right now.
Do you have them?
I showed you, and I'll be brief on my project here. But I showed you like Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander last time. Right? Or maybe I was in the middle of Bulbasaur. But here's Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. This
Very
is from
nice.
the first one. And then the starter's Eevee,
Mhm.
which I
Aw,
finished
I like the
squares
Eevee
on
color.
Eevee. And I cast on last night and got, I'd say, 2/3 of the way done. Pikachu.
With Pikachu.
Yay.
Pikachu.
So that was the first month. And when I finished, I had quite a bit left over. And I was like, what am I going to do with this? I have to start something else, or otherwise I'm just going to have 60 28 gram minis DK hanging around my house. So I started.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
A granny stripe.
I love it.
And this one, I'm just letting it like go, like whatever
That's right.
comes.
And you basically got 2 rows.
Three.
More, 3,
Yeah,
right?
3
Oh, yeah,
rows.
look at
Yeah.
that. That's a nice size stripe. That's
This
beautiful.
is.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'll have 60 stripes of this color, which will be about 60 inches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing
about
that's so fun is like this will show you the order that they came in, right?
Yes.
Because you're doing them because the other one I know you're going to do by their Pokédex numbers.
Right. Yeah.
Very fun.
So the
Very,
way that
very
I
fun.
figured out how much to do is I made a chain in a different yarn. See?
Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
Smart.
So you didn't, kind of waste any of
Right.
it with.
And then
So that it'll be
I
the same.
did my first row of granny stripe,
Mm-hmm.
and I weighed my yarn until I had used a third.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the second row, and I
Mhm.
waited at the end of the second row, and I realized I had used more than 2/3 of my yarn, so I ripped it out,
Mm-hmm.
pulled out 5 of these, and
Uh-huh.
redid the second row, and then I
Uh-huh.
was safe.
Nice.
So now when I'm done,
Great.
this is all that's left.
Perfect.
Like this tiny little
Teeny
bit,
little minis.
which is enough for mending someday.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't want to like totally use up every
Mhm.
inch.
A good idea.
Right.
Love it. Love
So
it.
this is
Very
it.
fun.
Pikachu's coming. I'm almost done. It takes me, I'd say, a day to
nice.
do 3 stripe.
Mm-hmm.
Like a
This
day
is
of
gonna
my
be
One-
a
whenever
nice
evening.
blanket.
Yes. So do you want to see what's in September?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
this is actually August.
This is August. Yeah, she
Um,
releases them at the end of the month, right? That's
Yeah,
the way.
and it was a little bit, she was a little bit behind releasing. I didn't want to release
Mhm.
ours before the people who had subscribed and were getting it in the mail released it. And I know
Yes.
people started getting theirs in the mail
Oh,
at
good.
the end of last week. So
All
everybody
right.
that was getting them.
So we're good.
Should've
We're
gotten
not
them.
spoiling anything.
We're not spoiling,
No.
but I haven't seen it yet. Because see, I kept,
Yeah,
she says Amanda.
she said put it in the office. Don't open it. I did not open
Unwrapping.
What is it? Let's see. What's it? So excited. What is it?
Oh.
This is Onyx, Geodude, Sandshrew, Diglett, and Rhydon.
Oh.
Sandshrew. Oh, this is like the.
Oh my gosh,
the
I
cave.
love it.
Oh, this is because
This is
Brock. Brock. This is Brock.
Yes.
He's the first Pokemon master, gym leader. He's the first gym leader you meet in. What's
Let's
the first
go.
town? What's the first town that you go to?
I could ask Ollie. He's in the office.
But he says Pokemon. Ah,
Oh, I love it.
cute.
He's the rock.
Yeah.
It's the rock gem.
It's the rock gem, which is why we've got like earthy toned grays.
It's
and
very.
things
It's like a
that.
Woolfolk palette in a way.
It
It is like a wolf.
Except for the
palette.
yellow.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yay!
Those are gorgeous.
Right. This is all Jen's favorite colors.
These
Yeah,
are my favorite
yeah.
colors.
So
Awesome.
yay!
I love
awesome.
that taupey brown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Grays.
so pretty.
I like this. I like the
Yeah.
Sandshrew too. Look at
I like
those
the
speckles.
Sandshrew with the speckles. Gorgeous.
Yay! So so this is. Oh, and it has the. If you're subscribed and getting it in the mail, you get a little stitch book.
Oh
So look, it has the rock.
my god, it's got
Let me
the rock.
see.
I got a rock badge.
Oh, fun.
So
I love
yay.
it.
So these are we'll have these minis available
In fingering weight.
In fingering weight.
weight. Yep, for the month of September.
Mhm.
And then if you get them, great. And if we have any left over at the end of September, they will be individual minis available for sale.
Yeah.
These would, I mean, in the fingering, these would be great heels and toes.
Exactly.
colors.
That's,
Oh my
that's
gosh,
exactly what
yeah,
I was
right?
thinking. I might have
We
to
could
see
do like
one
a
of those.
tonal like mixed. Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Those would be a good gradient.
That would be a good
Mhm.
gradient.
Yeah,
Look at that.
definitely.
That's a nice gradient.
Oh yes, this way.
Yes, that one.
Mhm.
The gray to gray to gray.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That'd be pretty.
And then contrast with your yellow.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
I'm so
I love
happy.
it.
Yay. Okay, so that's all. That's everything. I'm going to shut up now.
It's 5 to 11. Yep. You're
5 to 11.
All right, and actually, I might go so I can actually show up to this call on time for once. Is that okay? I'm sorry, guys.
That's
No,
fine.
it's
It's
fine.
okay. It's okay.
I always bail on them. It's like I
all right.
actually do very much care.
Do you know what we should do with all three? What is our
Oh, our giveaway.
giveaway?
Oh yes.
Giveaway
let's
for
do that.
this episode. So, and we're kind of overlapping sock bingo here. I want to do the same giveaway for September for sock bingo.
Yeah,
yay.
And so either, so I guess
Now you get 2 chances.
yeah, exactly. So what we're going to give away this month is, or this episode is, a pouch from Montclair Made.
I
to
love
one
these.
Those are
podcast
so
watcher.
special.
So answer the question: are you Team Magic Loop?
Ha!
Are you Team DPN?
No. Sorry.
Yeah. Or are you just a Yarniac? So
Here,
I have to hold the champion.
that's better. Yeah.
There we go.
So I am the captain of Team Magic Loop, as I always say.
I'm Team DPN.
Totally.
I'm
Team.
You're Yarnia.
So,
I'm actually both DPN and sometimes
which is perfect while you're holding the Yarniac. And
So-
also, like if Haley were here, she'd be Team 9-inch Sark. Which
she
is
would
our
be Team
favorite.
9-inch Sark.
Which that's
isn't
so
this cute,
specific.
like-
we don't have.
Yeah.
We don't have
That's
ones made.
It would be Haley.
Yeah.
Maybe a few others.
So
Comment below.
let us know
Yep.
which team you're on, and if you'd like
You
to.
are not wed to the team you pick for the pouch you pick.
No.
You're
But-
not wed to the team you pick.
Although, if
you
you
could
pick
always
Team
pick that.
DPN and then you switch to Magic Loop for your pouch,
You will have crushed Amanda's heart.
Aw.
She will be greatly disappointed in you.
If you love these and you don't win, we do have them on our website. They are by Montclair Made, which is a local maker in town. She actually not only, I mean, we'll have to, you'll throw in a picture, right? Or yeah, just bring it up.
I
by
will
the time.
put. I could put in a picture, but
Yeah, but no, that's just as good. So basically, not only does she hand embroider the wording on these things, she actually
She does
stitches all of the
all the-
notebook lines.
I love the
with
notebook lines so
you know, with
much.
blue thread and red
Aren't
thread,
those cool?
and it's lovely linen, and it's backed with recycled denim.
You'll notice I gave you a close up of Team DPN.
Of course you did. So anyway,
comment below.
Comment below. Let us know which team you're on, or if you play for multiple teams, and
Nothing
fair.
wrong with that.
and some lucky commenter will win one of these. And also,
Wow.
if you're doing sock bingo, that is, as we said, that's another chance. If you're posting photos of your progress pictures of your socks on Instagram and or Ravelry, you are automatically entered to
Yep.
win for that month. So
If you're posting your vanilla sock knit along, be sure to hashtag.
that's right. Post
Yes.
your vanilla sock knit along on Instagram and hashtag it. You can actually jump from the sock bingo, from the vanilla sock knit along thread to the sock bingo thread and
Yeah.
post there. That qualifies you.
Hop
But
around.
go ahead and order your board. Don't forget to request your board.
Yes.
Yep.
I think we're close to 200 people playing at this point,
No.
which is pretty
Yay.
exciting, and all over the world, which I love.
I love that.
I've sent a few. I sent one to the UK last week, a progress keeper of someone that had gotten a bingo, and a bunch of people are working on filling out their boards. And actually, a to do for us, we've got to get that second board done.
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yes.
It's high on my list.
We're going to prioritize
We'll
that.
have that for the next podcast.
Yes.
Definitely.
Amanda's going to go to
Okay.
her
I'm
call.
gonna go.
Yeah.
And my whips, I can talk about my whips. It's not that hard. So, I have made zero progress on most of my whips. So I can't remember if I showed my little lacy sock and fixation that I can't remember the name
I
of
think
the.
you might
I
have.
think I may have. It is the Mercury sock, which I'm making in DK fixation to match the sample that was in the store for a while.
Good idea.
I actually did make a little bit of progress on this. I turned the heel, and I'm working on the foot.
Cool.
So,
What
yeah.
kind of heel turn? What did you do?
I did. It is a
Since we're all
since
about
we're all
the
about.
heel exploration.
I did my standard modified French, which is to knit to 2 stitches past the center
Uh-huh.
and then do your turns back and forth. Which is the same I had done on the prior. So like,
here in the
it's a
store.
little boring. I haven't done anything on that yet. I have made zero progress on my Ranunculus or my Ranunculus swatch, which is still where I was at. But it'll happen, and when it happens, it'll happen quick. And I measured, but didn't actually do anything on the sock tube from my deep stash, which I can't remember. Did I talk about this at the last one?
I don't remember either.
I don't know. So this
Because I remember looking at it at your house. I
Yes.
think. So it's like, did I just look at it at your house, or did we talk about it on the podcast?
So we had mentioned that we have the circular sock knitting
Yes, we do.
machine
We
from
do.
the Erlbacher Gearhart company, which is fantastic. And thank you guys for the suggestions for names. I think we decided on
Clementine. Right? Love that suggestion.
Right? I loved
it. Texted Jen. I'm like, have you seen this?
I was like, I love it.
Yeah, perfect.
She's totally a Clementine.
My darling.
Oh, my darling. She's going to come to the store probably next week once the kids are in school. Yeah, so I was texting with Stacia. She's like, when am I going to learn how to do that? And I was like,
I told her, I'm like,
I need some time without my children. Woo!
I'm like, if you bring in some stash.
Bring in stash, and we'll
practice. We'll learn how to do this.
Crank some tubes. So this is one full skein of fingering. So, Clementine, our sock knitting machine, which will be in the store soon. Basically, once the kids go to school, and then I can load it into the minivan and bring it over, and we can get it all set up. Because it's on like a little rolly cart.
You ordered a cart for it too,
I had a cart for it, and so we can like push it around. So I have been practicing cranking sock tubes. This is one standard 100 grams of fingering on a 64 tube. This is deep stash. I seriously have had this for years.
It's so cute and like Christmassy.
I know. Yeah, it's a Christmas colorway.
Definitely giving me elf vibes.
I want to say knitterly things. Oh, and you can see like I have a couple of like wonky stitches right here, but that's all right. It'll be fine.
This was probably one of
I was learning. Yeah, there are a couple of like slipped stitches, but whatever, it's fine. So I'm going to turn this into socks, and then we'll see if I have any left over. I can also make arm warmers. And so I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do is I have contrast, ended up with cream for the contrast for the heels and toes. And I'm going to actually unravel a bit of the color to do the ribbing. Mostly because this is a little bit loose where I was messing with the tension, and so I was trying to figure out, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it apart, snip a stitch here and unpick a little bit. The orange is waste yarn. I'm going to knit a cuff, and then I will measure and see where I'm going to place my foot, and so I'll do one sock, and then I'll have another tube, and then anything left over could be a little hand warmer.
Yeah, little hand warmers would be so cute.
Yeah. So this is a whip, even though I don't actually have it on the needles, but this is also kind of going to be a bit of an experiment also because I think we're going to do classes, and once we have the circular knitting machine set up, we will you can get your skeins of fingering weight cranked into a tube by us. Yes. And for a fee, and then we will also give classes in Afterthought Heels and Toes, because then you can like turn this into a whole bunch of like socks for the holidays.
Very quickly. Yeah.
For gifts, for you could make fingerless mitts. Like this would make like a solid at least 4 pairs, right?
Or 4 socks.
4 socks. Or
4 socks or a pair of socks and like nice
pair
long
of
mitts
socks
or
and
something.
some nice long mitts, things like that.
Yeah.
So that's the next whip that I have, and then I was going over classes for the fall.
Yes.
The last couple of weeks.
We've been talking about classes.
And we've been talking about classes, and one of the classes coming up is my sweater class. So I finally picked dates, which I don't remember what they are. End of September.
Yeah, in September into October. Does it even go at like the first week of November?
I think yeah, because it's the last week in September. It goes through all of October with 1 week off because I won't be around. And it goes into November a little bit. But we're going to be doing Andrea Mowry's The Throwback. Yeah. So this is a colorwork cardigan. It is knit flat, but I'm also going to tell you how to steek it.
Because knitting in the round is so much more fun.
Because knitting in the round is so much more fun. And I don't...
think so.
It's just going to go quicker. So it's a worsted weight colorwork cardigan with optional steeks. So the class will be held on Zoom. We also have a ton, I would be remiss in saying this, we have a ton of knitting 101s, and Stacia's classes are going to be up.
Some brioche.
Very shortly, some brioche. some
Intermediate
next
brioche.
steps classes.
Yep, next steps
So
and
if you know how to knit, but you're unsure
Yes.
about what to do next, Stacia's got a great one for you.
Which I think that's going to be in high demand because so many people learned to knit over the pandemic.
And then are like, what do I do
all right,
next?
What's next? What's
Yeah.
next? So.
And she has a fantastic pattern for that. So Brioche 101, Brioche 102.
Oh, and fixing mistakes, which I don't know, folks who are folks who are into knitting enough to be podcast watchers may not be the right audience for that. But if you have friends who are always frustrated by, all right, I dropped this one stitch. What do I do? I mean, we have people come in all the time with problems like that, and
like,
they may be stuck.
And we're like, oh, it's.
Well, you know what happens? They, Monday evening they drop their stitch. We're closed on Tuesday, so they come in desperately Wednesday as soon as we open, and So we want to be able to help you fix those things on your own, so you're not stuck for 36 hours without being able to knit.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
we got to keep you going.
Yeah.
So those are all either on the website now or coming on the website very soon. My sweater class is not yet on the website, but it will be shortly. And so, is it fired in time?
No, it's record new voicemail for Yarnia because I recorded a voicemail for saying that we were closed for a short break for Labor Day weekend.
Yes. And now it's not Labor Day weekend.
Now it's just Tuesday and we're closed as normal.
It's Tuesday. So I was trying to figure out colors for my throwback, and so I need a main color and 3 contrasts, and I was looking at the Lucky Tweed.
Yeah.
So.
And also when we were talking about classes and deciding on the Jen was bouncing off ideas with me and Amanda for what sweater to do. Once she landed on the throwback, I'm like, all right, I'm going to knit along with you all.
Yes.
So I am.
I think Stacia might too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Who doesn't need a throwback? It's such a fun pattern. I remember seeing it when it came out and thinking, I would make that.
Really
and then as often, a bunch of things overtake. But once, and also, a lot of times I'm the one here in the store most days, so people come in picking their yarn for their class, so I help people put together all these fun combos, and it's like, I have to do one too.
Right? And Kathleen is like so good at picking the colorways. Like,
it's so fun.
So good.
I literally have a dozen possibilities already in my phone. So
if you want to take this class, and because it's on Zoom, we can take a lot of students.
And also you don't have to be local to us.
And you don't have to be local to us. There will be office hours where you can come into the store and meet with me with masks, and I can help you out if you're stuck.
And for certain things too, like if it's more of a basic. Well, I mean, I am going to be knitting it also, so I'll be familiar with what's going on.
You'll know what's going on.
But Stacia and I also can help, with people come in. But if it's a more extensive consultation about something that was on the Zoom, obviously Jen's the right one for that.
And then when you get to the steeking, we'll figure out something. We'll do it on Zoom, and we might also do an in-person thing for those
kind of hybrid. Yeah.
So I have color options, and I'm torn because all right. So first we'll go with the greeny blues, right?
Very tonal.
So this is very tonal, which I do kind of love. And what color is this? This is moss.
That's
so this
moss,
would be the main color.
I do love that.
Right? So we have main color, and then these 3 would be the contrast.
That would be so gorgeous.
Right? And I don't know, I'm leaning
So what
towards
is this green again?
This green is pine.
Right.
This
sea glass.
is sea glass.
And fog.
And
I know
fog.
most of them.
And
couldn't
so,
remember pine.
Colorway 1.
That is really pretty.
I think I might go for this, even though literally 20 minutes ago I was like, oh no, let's go with colorway 2, which is a bit brighter and less tonal. This would be the main color, which is daring for me.
Yeah.
It is
spice.
Orange spice. Yes.
Orange spice.
Good
okay.
job. And then the contrast would be golden,
Viridian,
and
fog.
Yeah. So
that's really fun. And an interesting thing, a lot of times when you're doing color work, you want to have 3, or you want all your contrast colors to be very contrasty.
Yeah.
I've looked at a lot of these throwbacks. They don't have to be for this.
Yeah.
It actually, and also Andrea Mowry used spin cycle yarn when she first did it. Though it's interesting, a couple of the colorways look more solid, and only one of them looks like the kind of color changing. So there are a lot of different ways you can go with this. And of course,
options.
Since she made her first one, there are thousands of them on Ravelry now. So there's so many things you can look at.
So you could do this is more tonal.
They're all fun.
The blue and green one is a little bit more tonal, and
Which
so like the
it would
chevrons
be
would
gorgeous.
be tonal.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more contrasty.
It's much more of a pop.
It's more of a pop of color, and I'm trying, and I can't decide. So, comment below.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Knowing that Jen has many green sweaters.
I have many green sweaters,
Well,
so of course my first instinct is to
make another green sweater.
Mostly because I love this moss color so much.
Yeah.
So much.
You could make a Felix in that.
I could make a Felix in this, and Andrea will make another Felix.
I need to make a Felix.
Because I have a Felix in this.
Yeah, I need to make a Felix, and I'm trying to decide what color to do for that. But
so what are yours?
So since I now finished my black sweater that was, kind of on the needles and whatever, had been swatched for years, I'm thinking about doing night as my main color, which is basically black. Oh no, this is black actually. Night is a very dark blue. Yeah. The black, but it is it's it's a tweed, so it's got flecks in it. So there's that. That would be the main. And then I have actually already made sweaters out of all these colors of Lucky Tweed. So, but wouldn't that be so fun?
I think that's so perfect.
So
I think
fun.
That's such a you
colorway. It's me. It's got my name written all over it.
It's like sunsetting.
Yeah. So this is tomato, golden, and then cream. Right. But it's like, so that's, I think I'm going to pull the trigger and go ahead and buy this stuff right now.
I'm torn, so
yeah, let Jen know what you think she should do.
I'm really
They're both really nice. It's just, do you want the pop?
I know.
And do you want something unexpected?
This is daring.
It's so daring for
right?
you. It's so daring.
So daring for me.
Well, what would you think about doing this as the main?
I don't think I would wear it. I think it's too bright for me.
It's too,
Yeah.
But where this is bright, but it's still, it's a kind of more natural color, so it's,
It's a little bit more, like, it's a bright that's a neutral. Yeah, I feel like I could get away with this as a neutral. And plus, honestly, and like, I know how many times have we said, like, you don't have to do the colors that are in the pattern. But I will say, if you look at the throwback, she has a reddish rusty color.
It's a similar color.
It is very wearable.
It looks great. Yeah. Well, I love things that contrast with jeans. Like, I wear jeans, especially in the winter, pretty much daily. Yeah. So, it's funny. That's one reason I think I don't wear blue a lot, because I don't like the blue and blue.
Agreed. I love the blue, but I would never have, I don't think I would be able to do these two, because then it would match the denim.
It's
and
like,
it'd be
becomes
Canadian
like a uniform.
tuxedo.
It's like,
And I can't do a Canadian tuxedo. I can't do it. It's too much. It's too matchy.
Or me with my brown, it's like, I used to wear more khakis and things like that, and it's like, I feel like I look like the UPS guy.
Right? You're just like head to toe.
Head to toe brown.
And I could do head to toe black.
That's
not a problem. Head to toe black is fine.
Not a problem.
That's fine. But so that's where I'm at.
Cool.
So you have your...
Yep, I got mine picked.
Lucky Tweed one.
I may have to... I know I've got a lot of this left and a lot of this left. I'll probably have to buy one of these, and then...
I may have some of the fog left from... I did a hat.
And I did Haley's Felix in fog, but I think I only used like 2 skeins for her or something, maybe.
She's like this...
But I have like none left. Maybe it was 3, whatever it was. Yeah. No, I think I used like 3 for mine. This is good yardage. This really
it's got great yardage. It's
210.
210 for.
But you knit
100 grams.
You knit it at a bigger gauge, so it's not. It's not a hard. It's not a kind of straight.
And people ran the gamut. I was looking on the Ravelry things. People ran the gamut. That some of them used even Feederbrook Farms DK. For the contrast.
Right. Right.
Which, as a loosely spun DK and a heavier DK would totally fill in. People have used Scout, which is a DK, but I would go with, and folks used Lucky Tweed. Germantown was another one that I was looking at the colors for, because we've got like such a gorgeous palette. And Lucky Tweed is not superwash. Germantown is not superwash. What Northlight Fibers Atlantic and Ocean Ave are not superwash, and those would be gorgeous. 14 would work as well, because those would.
That would be. Yeah.
The reason I'm talking about not superwash is because if you steek it, it's just going to give you that extra little bit of grip. We'll go over all of that in the class.
Yeah, so you can do it in a superwash yarn, but if you want to steek it, we recommend the non-super. It's just going to be easier to handle. It's going to be easier. And to me, it actually fits with the feel of the sweater a little bit more. I think so.
Like a classic.
Yeah.
Like a classic.
Yeah. So
do you have any other whips?
So I have another, like, my sort of, loose rule of thumb for myself is when you finish a sweater, you can cast on another sweater.
It's a good rule.
So another one that I have that I've been, it's been in the top of my mental queue for a while is Esther by Camilla Vad.
Oh, I love that one. I was looking at that one too for the class because I was like, it's such a pretty. I like that chevron look.
So, which the funny thing is, it's kind of going to be like and this is written in sport, but the yardage of Scout, which is yet another. Sorry, guys.
I love Scout.
I do too. I love Scout, but and honestly, I know I can get the gauge that is called for in the pattern with Scout, and I know I love the way it is. So the funny thing, I mean, you just saw my my black with the red and the gold and the cream. So what I was thinking for this, which also uses 4 colors, is gray for the body. So almost like the black. I've already got gold and cream from something else I did, and like this is my palette.
This is your palette. I mean, this is
Grello girl. Just call me Grello girl. But I need a 4th color, so I was thinking either the red would be really pretty with it.
That would be your throwback.
But that's almost exactly. Then it's exactly like the throwback. But look how pretty the green looks.
I love the green.
Isn't that nice?
I like the green.
So I think that may be.
I like the gray.
That may be what I'm going
to
do.
So this gray is
medium gray?
Graphite heather.
Okay.
I don't remember what
Sunflower.
that is. Sunflower.
Cream.
And
this green is moss heather.
Moss heather.
I do. I like that. I think that'll be.
I like that. I like that because
pretty.
then they're coordinating, but they're not the same.
Yeah. Yep.
And it'll read is different anyway.
Yeah.
Because pullover versus cardigan.
And this this green has a lot of yellow in it, so I feel like they harmonize nicely. Yeah. And then the gray sets it all off.
I love it.
So
I love it.
So I've got two very similar sweaters. I'm gonna cast on soon. I'll wait till you start your throwback class to.
That's fine. End of September for the throwback class, but also check out the class listings on our website, and keep checking. And honestly, if you guys have any friends who want to learn how to knit, send them the class, because that is the one thing about like our class listings mostly coming through the newsletter is a lot of folks who sign up for the newsletter already know how to knit or crochet. So it's also just about getting the word out to the other folks and like bring them in. So
because you know how much fun you have with knitting and crochet, right? And actually, we had a little bit of crochet with Amanda. Usually we're a little more balanced knitting crochet.
There have been some weeks where we've had like a lot of crochet and a little bit of knitting, and some weeks where it's been mostly knitting, and some weeks where it's been 50-50.
Yeah. And actually, now that Haley's at school, we're probably going to have a little less crochet.
I was going to say, it might be a little less.
Because she's, other than her socks, she's like 100% crochet.
I got to get working on my temperature blanket, which is my crochet. I'm still stuck in like March.
And I've got a scrappy blanket that I'm with some of my sock leftovers that I was thinking about that I need to get going on. But I also was thinking another thing with some of my sock scraps. I am going to start a musselburgh hat.
Ooh, I like the musselburgh hat.
Yeah, I think a scrappy musselburgh would be really fun.
I think it would be really cool.
Really fun.
Really cool.
The other thing, and this is sort of totally off topic of projects and everything and what we're going to be working on. One thing, we all, we had our 1K giveaway not that long ago. Our numbers are still going up. We love that. But we are looking for help with our social media.
We are.
We feel like we do a pretty good job, but our ideas are like so much bigger than what we have time to do, even though there are 3 of us. I truly don't know how anybody does a yarn store by themselves.
I really don't. I really don't.
Because there are 3 of us. We work well together. We all have our things that we do. We all jump in and comment on other things. But to do it well, there is so much. Yeah. So if you are somebody who does social media, we're thinking mainly Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook, which is handy that they're integrated.
Definitely. And, obviously if you're on our channel, you are in the fiber community.
Yes.
That's kind of what we're having trouble finding. And it is really funny because I've actually been posting every day lately, but I have a list of ideas. Can she actually complete them?
No.
Maybe not. Not while I'm shipping. Not while I'm reorganizing the store for fall.
I have tons of ideas that I'm like, oh, wait, no.
So we're looking to add, a part-timer to our team who is, really great at social media and is in the fiber world. So if that is you, email us at hello@shopyarnia.com. Send us links to accounts you've worked on.
Yeah.
And we'd love to, we're definitely looking to grow our team in that way. So, we hope somebody out there that's watching this is the right person. And also, if you know people, send them to us.
Let us know.
If you're not the one, but your friend does this, let us know.
Hit us up. Speaking of followers and giveaways and social media, we are going to pull the winner for the last giveaway.
Yeah, it was episode 57.
So Amanda will insert who won now.
Yes, and what they won is a skein of Ancient Art Socknado, which we've been kind of trying to, make it the same thing as the Sock Bingo giveaway. It just streamlines it a little bit.
Totally.
So I know one of our Sock Bingo winners from from August who won that picked cherry custard. I'm going to pull that and get that out to her.
I love the cherry custard.
I don't think our second person commented yet on what her color is.
Okay.
Or actually, maybe she did. Oh, yes, she did. She's on Ravelry. We need to message each other. I think she told me her address, but not which color she wanted. So
we'll
get that sorted out.
So shortly after this podcast, we're going to pick the name. And congratulations.
Yes. Enjoy the Socknado.
We'll contact you, or they have to comment? How does that work?
Well, we reach out. We
reach out. So we'll reach out to the winner.
Yep.
And
as well
let
as
them
putting
know.
your name here. And then the one other thing we did, Haley hopefully is going to do a little video that Amanda can pop in at the end just to show us a little glimpse of her life at college.
Love it.
She's loving it. I think I said this earlier, I don't know if it was just the three of us or if we were actually filming them, but she's, she's so happy to be at Mount Holyoke. It's a great environment for her.
Love it.
It's like everyone who's there, is so excited to be learning, and I don't know. It
seems like it's the right place for her.
It's a good fit for her. She's taking 2 environmental studies classes, and she said one of them has a lot of field trips. The lab is mostly field trips, which sounds great.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. But because of, her excitement about being in a new place, she's still unpacking. Because if it hadn't been, she's busy. She's out
busy.
there
She's
meeting
got
people,
things to do.
making friends.
If she doesn't need it immediately, why unpack it?
I think throughout Labor Day weekend she probably got the rest unpacked, but she's not been doing any knitting or crochet. She said she's just,
she's got stuff to do.
Yeah.
She's got stuff to do.
But hopefully she'll send us a little clip that Amanda can put in so you can see how she is
even
enjoying
if it's not
her
in here, maybe we'll do like a little, depending on how long the clip is, maybe she could do like a separate vlog thing and Haley at college. It would be so cute.
Yeah. So one way or the other. But anyway, she's doing well. She sends her regards to everybody, and we're excited that she's so happy to be back at school.
Yes.
And they are.
That's where she needs to be.
It's been. They are so serious about masking and everything. She feels really comfortable.
Great.
So it's
I love that.
Yeah, it really is.
Good.
And if you look at their Instagram, everybody's masked. It's like you can tell they're smiling from their eyes and they're wearing their masks.
Exactly.
So
thumbs up.
Yeah. No, they're doing all the right things. So
great.
Yeah. All right. So
thank you guys for watching
episode 59. Thanks so much. Let us know about the Montclair made bags.
Yeah. Comment below. Enter the giveaway.
If you don't win, check it out on the website. Or even if you do win, we have some.
There are
Some
varieties.
that say meds. They don't have to just be for knitters and crocheters.
There's sunnies.
I mean, we do have one that's a long one for crochet hooks, which is really fun.
I do love that.
But yeah, we've got ones for sunglasses, one for regular glasses, medications. They're such nice little pouches. They're really fun.
Love them. They're so useful.
And Claire, who makes them, is lovely. She's great. We've
all of my
carried
bags
these
are
from day one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All of my bags are full of little bags. So these are perfect.
You keep your stuff organized.
I know.
A bag and a bag.
I have a bag and a bag and a bag.
Totally.
Of course we do.
Of course we do.
So thank you for watching, and remember to follow us online. You can follow our website is shopyarnia.com, and then we are Shop Yarnia on Instagram and Shop Yarnia on Facebook. And make sure that you have signed up for our newsletter, which you can go to our website, shopyarnia.com, and if you scroll down, you can sign up for the newsletter with the email. They get sent out once a week.
And you'll know about all of our classes, you'll know about what's new in store, all that good stuff.
And like and follow here, which I should have led with, but I didn't. And click the little alarm.
You all know that.
But you all know that by now.
You know that. Everyone says it every time. So
have a lovely beginning of September, and we will see you soon.
Happy crafting.
Bye. Bye.